Hi and welcome, thanks for joining me. Today what I want to do is give you some really cool country licks, ideas, jams, fills. Okay, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do some really interesting stuff, some little bass lines, this sort of thing. That sort of stuff, just a bit of fun. But we're going to throw in some cool little licks as well, like this sort of thing. And then something like this at the end as well. That sort of thing. Okay, so why am I doing this? Well, because only last week, Beyoncé, the great artist that she is in many people's eyes, not necessarily mine, she won the Grammy Award for Best Country Album. And that shocked a lot of people. Her album, Cowboy Carter, it won it, okay? And it was okay. From the tracks I heard, it didn't seem great. It just seemed like she was cashing in. And I posted about this in the Fingerstyle 101 Facebook group that I have. And you can join that group, but it's only by invite. So if you want to join that group, you can go to fingerstyle101.com/free, get on my email list. It's a really, really cool group, and we had a really good discussion about that and lots of other things. But a few people said they thought the album was trash. Country music isn't country music anymore. She's just cashing in on TikTok dances that people were doing to a country song, and that sort of thing. But it inspired me to do this lesson. And I'm going to give you a step-by-step process to play some really cool country, with a pick or without a pick. Nice and simple. Let's begin. Alright, the first thing you want to do with country music is understand the chord progression, and we've got a 1, 4, 5, 1. So we're going to do it in the key of G. So we've got the chords of G, C, D, and G. The G's the 1, C's the 4, D's the 5, and G is the 1. Okay. So you just want to practice getting good at those chord changes, especially if you're a beginner. And then you want to add in some country picking and strumming, okay? If you use a pick, basically the easiest way, we'll call this level 1, okay? We're just going to basically plug the root note. So let's take the G chord, got the root note which is on the 3rd fret low E, and then strum the chord, and then root note and chord. So it's just literally. Okay, we're going to do some more fancy stuff in a moment, okay? But then we're going to switch it to the C chord to the same. So the root note on the C chord is the A string at fret 3. Then we're going to do the D chord and do the same. The root note for the D is the D string. You can do 2 bars of each, okay? So be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now without me talking. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you go. Many a country song has that. It's a nice, simple, basic way of playing it. But if you want to spice it up, that's what we're going to do now. Where we're going to do alternating bass line. So we're going to plug the low E, the root note, strum the chord. Then we're going to hit the D string. This is for the G chord. And then strum the chord. So it's bass on the root note, strum, bass on the D string, strum. We did it for 4 bars then. You can do it for 2 bars, it doesn't matter. Probably best to do it on 4 bars while you're practicing. Then we did the C chord, and this time it's a bass note again on the 3rd fret A string. Then strum the chord. And then you've got an option here. You can do the D string and then strum the chord. So it'd be like this. So your bass notes are alternating between the A string and D string. But personally, I prefer this. It just sounds cooler to me. Okay, and what we're doing there, we're doing the bass note on the A string, strum the chord, then moving the ring finger to fret 3 of the low E string, playing that note, and then strum the chord. And when you strum the chord, really you only want to strum the top 3 strings, the G, B, and high E. You don't need to strum all the strings, and that goes for any time you're playing country. Because if you plug the bass note, strum all the strings, kind of like get that. You don't get that separation between the bass and the treble. The bass, treble. There's a lot of subtlety every time you strum. So if you find this hard, just break it down. Practice just getting the good groove. Make the bass notes nice and loud. Okay? And practice that with the G to C, then do the D chord, and what we're going to do here is hit the open D string, strum, then the A string, strum, D string, strum, A string. Okay, that's the D. So we'll try that together then, the G, C, D. So after 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Be very careful that you don't hit the wrong strings. It does happen occasionally if you're not paying attention. You know, slightly hit the wrong string there on one of them, and it happens to us all. So one way that you want to make sure that you don't pluck the wrong strings when you're playing anything like this is to not let your picking hand drift too far from the strings. You know, a lot of people will do this, and they'll pluck, and the hand will come out here. Okay? And the hand's out there, and then they've got to pluck, and it just increases the odds of them plucking the wrong string, like that. If you keep your hand nice and close after plucking, rather than this, nice and close, okay? It really helps. It's called the magnetic hand. It's a way of, you know, my phrase for making sure that you keep your hand close. You imagine that your hand and the strings have got a magnet, and it stops your hand drifting all the way out there. Okay, you can do this sort of thing where you're throwing little bass notes in between the chords. Doesn't sound like that much on its own, but when you put it with the chords, it sounds cool. Okay, so what am I doing there? Basically, I'm just using some notes on the G major scale, just to transition from chord to chord. So when we go from the G, we're going to do that to link to the C, and it's fret 3 of the low E string twice, open A once, fret 2 of the A once, okay, and then into the C chord. Okay, so where do you place that? First of all, you just want to practice that. I use my middle finger on fret 2 of the A string, that note, because it frees up my ring finger to get into the C chord, okay? Which is good. You can use your ring finger on that fret 2 of the A, and then just move it up so you get into the C chord that way. Okay, so where do you play it then? So do the G, root, strum, alternate bass, strum, root, strum, alternate bass, strum, and root, strum, alternate bass, strum, and then bass line. So basically we're doing 3 sets of this. C chord, okay, and we'll do 3 sets of the C, bass, strum, and then we'll do 3-3-2-0 on the A string. Okay, so that C chord will sound like this. Okay, then we'll do 3 sets of that on the D chord. Okay, so D strum, bass strum. And then we're going to go D open twice, A string there, fret 2, then 0. Okay, and back to the G. Okay, and you put all that together, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finish it off with some more G chord stuff, okay? there you go, you can have a bit of fun. If you want to use your fingers, for some people it can be a bit easier. In a minute I'm going to show you some really cool little licks to finish it off, but if you want to use your fingers, here's a little pointer, you can. You can use your thumb on the bass notes, index on the G string, middle on the B string, okay? Gives you a different tone, and I'm plucking quite close to the bridge as well, which is cool. It gives you that kind of like slightly brighter tone. Country's got a very bright tone. That's why a lot of people like Telecasters when they play country music. And so on. So you can enjoy that with your fingers as well. And that's probably the way I tend to play a little bit more, because I just like that. You can also use a pick and palm mute as well. So you get this sort of sound. So on, and then throw in the bass. Okay, and we're going to do that lick in a moment. But the palm muting score, all you do is just get the side of your hand, palm mute where the strings meet the bridge. Okay? And it gives you that tighter sound. It's really cool, it's really nice. It's just different tones on offer. You can play about with all these, and you'll hear them all on different country records as well. Okay, so if you want to throw in a cool little lick to finish it off with, you can. You can do a little G chord strum, and then do 3 to 1 on the B string, a pull off, okay? And then 3 on the G string, and then open G. So you can go. Finish it off like that. That's just a nice little country lick. So 3-1 on the B, 3-0 on the G. Just get that rhythm. Okay? It's almost going into like country rock territory when we did that, but it's kind of fun. Okay, and then you just put it all together. And then if you really want to do some fancy stuff, you can finish off with a lick like this. Okay, a bit of a classic country lick that uses the blues scale. A lot of scales, interestingly, you go from genre to genre, okay? So a lot of the time, the rhythm guitar in music changes the whole feel drastically. But a lot of the time, we also use the same scales as well. So that, you can use the blues scale to create a country lick. So it's just 3-0 on the high, 3-0 on the B, 3-2-0 on the G. Okay. And 2-0 on the D, 2-1-0 on the A, and then 3 on the low E. So the first half, second half, all together, and then you can have a bit of fun. You can throw in a little intro as well. You can go. There you go. Does it have to be perfect? Nah, you just have a bit of fun with it all. And whether you like the sounds of Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Glenn Campbell, people like that, I'm not saying you're going to have to play like those, but you can get in the same sort of style doing this sort of stuff. And, I try and keep everything beginner friendly so you can have a lot of fun. And by all means, that's what it's all about. Just keep having fun, break it down, give you some ideas there. One more idea, you can even do it with bar chords. Even throwing that lick an octave lower. And do something like that, okay? All that lick is the same notes but an octave lower. Right, I'm going to leave 5-3 on the A string, 6-3 on the low E. Okay, I was going to leave the video there, but I was just tempted just to give you that one little extra thing, just to give you a little bit more fun and hopefully make your day a little bit brighter. And that's what it's all about with the guitar. So whether you hate Beyoncé or not, I just want to say thanks, love, for the inspiration. Okay, if you like that, then go to fingerstyle101.com/free. There's plenty more from me there that you can learn. Country, folk, blues, acoustic, rock, strumming, finger picking, all sorts. Loads of fun. And when you join the email list as well, you won't get spammed or anything like that, but you'll just get some really cool, valuable emails from me that will hopefully inspire you. You'll get various links to different things as well. And you'll be able to join the Fingerstyle 101 Facebook group as well, okay? So all you got to do is just reply to any of my emails, let me know you want access to the group, and we could sort that out for you, okay? There's other ways to join as well, but I'm not going to talk about them here. It's a very exclusive group. I try and keep it small, low-key, and just full of members who are super engaged, having lots of fun, and very supportive as well, okay? So I hope you enjoyed that lesson. If you want more from me on fun stuff on the guitar, check this out. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers. Bye.